Hey guys, it's quote unquote your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great response video. In this video, we're back in the office with Uncle C, who, we're into the video at this point. So he was telling us the reason he's been gone for about a week, which is, I think he said it was a record for him. And I'm not going to, try to mock him for that. I think it's impressive the way that he, just puts all this work in. I mean, obviously nobody has something new to say every day, but it's that he's working the YouTube algorithm, and credit to him. I would say though, a week of not seeing him, and now he's back. Casey, just put your sister back on. Just have your sister do it from now on, because I remember, who was it? New Poster, the guy he's got a lot of good videos himself, but he was saying that Casey is a black hole of charisma, and after not seeing Casey for a week, yeah, it's true. Whereas his sister, actually, she's got it. Casey doesn't. Just have her do the videos from now on, okay? So anyway, of course, he was at this conference with one of his mentors, and it was the guy who apparently invented ClickFunnels. I mean, I didn't even know ClickFunnels was a brand. I thought it was just a type of thing. So this guy must be a really big deal, this Russell Brunson guy or whatever. So Casey is saying, he was in, I guess it comes in tiers, you're the, based on how much you pay, you get it to be in a higher I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever, people and their mentors. If you're going to have a mentor, it sounds like this guy at least isn't a snake oil salesman like the other mentors that Casey has mentioned. But so Casey now is saying, he's talking about being at the mixer on the night before this thing started, and he's got this story to tell. So let's see. As you can see, the video is called "This Man's Dirty Victim Mentality Made Me Vomit." Mindset cancer. Oops.
Event. In walks this homeless man. Robbie instantly goes towards him, and Robbie did something that I would not.
Robbie is the ClickFunnels boss's second in command.
Not expect him to do, right? He offered to help first, right? My default mindset probably would have been to kick this guy out and get him out of here. But no, he showed a level of care and a level of compassion, and I thought it was very mature of Robbie. Robbie's also twice my age, so that's probably why there was an added level of wisdom and maturity. Here's what I saw. I saw Robbie offer to buy this guy a hotel room for the night, genuinely concerned about where he has to stay. I saw Robbie offer this guy some of the food that was part of this event, and last but not least, I watched something that will stick with me until the day I die. Robbie said the words, "Can I buy you a beer? Can I get you a drink?"
Okay, now I wasn't there, so I didn't see this happen. I want to applaud this Robbie guy for the compassion he showed this homeless dude. But I have to say, I don't get the offering the hotel room thing. I can see, offering him the food and asking, "Can I get you a drink?" But the offer in the hotel room is kind of odd. I mean, there's nothing morally wrong with it, but it's just weird. And I certainly wouldn't have done that, even if I had infinite money. I wouldn't have done that. But I mean, hey, good on this guy for doing that.
The guy really wanted a beer. The homeless man wanted a beer. He said, "Can I buy you a beer? Can I buy you a drink?" Instead of showing gratitude, instead of saying, "Yes, I'd love that," instead of saying, "Thank you so much. Thank you for all that you're offering for me right now," do you know what he said? He said, "Can you get me two?" Can you get me two? The follow-up question to after asking for two, and you watch Robbie's eyebrows raise, the follow-up question to that was, how big are each beers going to be?
If he said, okay, if the guy then follows up with, how big are each beers going to be? This guy is obviously not educated, not intelligent. This is a very down on his luck guy. Okay, I think this is a homeless guy who needs to be down there. I think that I just want to point something out about if you've dealt with the homeless. They really aren't known for their gratitude. They have they kind of want what they want. I mean, generally, and there are exceptions, but in the United States, people can be transient homeless. That's one thing. But if you're permanently homeless, that's often either a lifestyle choice, usually for a young person, or there is some serious issues, but homeless are known for, not really helping themselves because they don't really have the ability to help themselves. So this kind of stuff is very normal for a homeless person to say something like, can you, like a guy offers a beer and you go like, that's the guy once he says, can you get me a beer? Like, can you get me two? And how big are they going to be? That's just, pretty normal stuff from a homeless person. One of the reasons that I would kind of be confused about offering him a room. So, I mean, whereas Casey seems really shocked by all this.
Almost as if he was demanding something, as if he was entitled to it. And see, this is what you have is the victim entitlement taker mentality. Everything is just about taking today, and that's why men actually never take the real things in life that they should, and they take everything else that's been handed to them for granted. And this shows up in their relationships, this shows up in their wealth, this shows up in who they are. So let me tell you something. Around that community and around that mastermind, I will compare this to, Robbie or even to Russell on stage when I'm watching these presentations happen. I'm sitting there each and every day at this mastermind watching a man who has nothing to take, yet everything to serve us, the guys who are there, me, had nothing to take.
I mean, he took your money to do the conference.
Each day, yet everything to give, everything to serve, and happy as can be. And in retrospect to that, I watch another man, a homeless man, walk in, and all of a sudden there is a man. I'm watching this. I'm witnessing this. I'm watching a man with literally nothing to give and everything to take. The complete opposite. One of these men that I'm talking about is very rich and the other is very poor. And the difference, fellas, is in your mindset. The difference is if you finally own your...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I mean, well, I mean, I feel like I've said it before, but Casey has hit a new low. He has hit a new low. This is like next level pathetic. So the difference between this multimillionaire CEO, founder of ClickFunnels, Robbie, and a homeless guy is the taker mindset that the homeless guy has. It's actually the homeless guy's fault he's homeless because he has a taker mindset. And if he would just adopt the mindset of Robbie, he would be successful, possibly even to the point of being worth over $50 million. I mean, that's what Casey's saying. Again, and this goes back to, like I said, this is like the most unstoic guy ever. Your level of success, and not just in the dating market, but certainly in terms of wealth, it's going to be really dependent on who you know, how you were raised, genetics and stuff, the opportunities that were available to you guys. You don't think that Robbie had more opportunities than this homeless guy? I mean, this homeless guy, you can tell if he's saying how big are the beers going to be, or how are big, I don't know, he said something grammatically wrong about how big the beers would be. This guy is obviously not very smart. He's obviously not very smart. Maybe he's an alcoholic, and there's a whole bunch of life experience that could go into that. And you're going to judge him by the same standards that you judge a guy who's, I'm not just taking anything away from, the Robbie guy or whoever the other dude's name is, because I'm sure they put in a lot of time and effort. But nobody does it alone. I mean, you can't compare the two when one guy had so much more to work with. He was given so much more to work with. versus homeless bum who wasn't really given, including good decision-making ability. Because, you know, again, the ability to make good decisions itself is a gift. And a lot of people just don't have it. They just don't have it. And it's not their fault they're stupid. Now, I'm not saying they're not responsible. But, you know, I mean, so I want to get back to what he said about this guy saying, like, he acting entitled to that beer. And there's a story that I have from, you know, my ancestors come from Poland, right? They were Jews from Poland, and there's a story, you know, from you know, a Hasidic story. If you don't know what Hasidic is, it's like a type of Judaism that rose up in like the late Russian Empire, which was like really based on you know, heavily, it's kind of hard to explain, like very heavily based on Kabbalah, and although not that there wasn't Kabbalah before that, and like more of like an emotional thing, as opposed to being around, you know, the more legalistic Talmud study that was, you know, more traditional part of Judaism. But there's this story that we have of this I forget the names of the rabbis. They were real rabbis, though. So I'm assuming the story isn't true, but the rabbis' names are real. So the one rabbi comes to visit the shtetl or whatever, visit the other rabbi at the shtetl. So when he comes to the town, shtetl is just the town. He comes to the town. The rabbi whose town it is, puts him up in like a really nice room. You know, he gives him, you know, room and board for an entire week. You know, provides them with the food and stuff, shows them all around, stuff like that, and all that stuff. You know, all the stuff he needs, you know, to have like, you know, a good week in the town, and then he pays for like the wagon or whatever for the guy to get back to his town. So as he's leaving to show him off, he says, "Here, I bought you this." The rabbi who bought all the stuff for him hands him this fur coat, like a super expensive fur coat, saying, "Here, I bought you this fur coat." And then the other rabbi who's leaving said, like, "Well, I can't take this, man. You know, you had you know, after you've put me up, you know, and provided all this food for me, and, you know, paid for my stagecoach or whatever to get out of here, I can't take this, you know, gift from you." And then the first rabbi, the rabbi who's paid for all the stuff, says, no, it's the other way around. You got to take it because I didn't do you any favors with the stuff that I did for you this week. You know, everything I did for you, I owed you. It was my responsibility to do it, you know, because God has provided me with the resources, so you are entitled to get the stuff that I gave you, you know, whereas the coat is actually from me. You know, I'm not required to give it to you, so you got to take it because of that. Again, I doubt this story really happened. That's not the point. The point is that there is, look, the homeless guy should have been more grateful. I'm not saying that, but you have to be, people in need do have a right to be helped. By people who have the ability, who help them. And that would be like, again, I don't agree with the getting him the hotel thing, but I think, you know, an act of kindness, like buying him the beer, is kind of owed to that guy. Again, the guy's reaction was wrong. I'm not saying that, but you know, let's not act like, you know, the one guy is, you know, when you've had a lot given to you, you need to give a lot back. And I think that the same thing would go, like, I don't care what religion you are, or even if you have no religion at all. I mean, maybe if you were something like really barbaric, like, you know, what the Greeks and the Romans believed. But I'm assuming none of my viewers like believe in Zeus and stuff. So, but seriously, like, even if you're an atheist, I think you would agree with what I just said. And then the next thing, though, what Casey said about, you know, and I know I've already said this, what Casey said about the whole, you know, that the difference is mindset is just, it's offensive. It's offensive, and it's the whole, like, the problem at the core of you know, this red pill worldview, red pill or blue pill worldview. They both actually kind of have a just world fallacy in their own way. And I know we've discussed that before. But like, you know, I talk about how, you know, MGTOWs, who I know are kind of a different version of the red pill, are being harmful to men by, you know, telling them to resent women and stuff like that. But there's I mean, you could make the case that Casey's version of the red pill is even worse, telling men to take responsibility for everything in their life that doesn't work the way they want. Because, you know, I can just compare it, you know, to my own life. Like, my health problems are not my responsibility. My shitty heightened frame genetics are not my responsibility. My sort of like ultra high, well, I mean, they are my responsibility. They're not my fault though. And they're not like, you know, there's nothing I can do to change it. Now, you know, I can work around it, but like, you know, it's not like, I mean, the fact that I'm not heavyweight champion of the world, you know, which is, you know, which was always my dream. Boxing, not MMA. I don't like MMA. But, you know, it's not lack of mindset that has prevented me from achieving that. It's that I didn't have the tools. You know, I wasn't given the health, the size, the punching power, the speed, the durability, punch resistance and stuff. And so again, you know, my message is not to not take responsibility, you know, just the opposite. So I mean, it's like they take something good, the idea of accountability and take responsibility, and then use it in a negative way to say, oh, it's all on you. You need to just make the life you want happen. And, you know, I know a lot of the people watching these videos are, you know, unfortunately, are guys who don't have the tools to build that life that they want for themselves. You know, I've seen in the comments, a lot of these guys are smaller guys, like very small guys from India or from Latin America or from, you know, the Middle East. And, you know, not saying that those guys can't have success, but, you know, you put together, like, you know, if you're not very big and your personality is kind of bleh and you're not that smart, you know, telling these people the reason you're not living the life that Chad is because your mindset is wrong. I mean, you're really doing them a disservice. And you're sending them down a path where, you know, not only are they going to not lead the life they want, but they're going to blame themselves for it. And you're just sending them down a path of futility and frustration. Also, Casey is just an idiot. Bring your sister back, Casey. She's a million times better. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next.